How would I compare a Green-cheek Conure and an Indian Ringneck? Hi, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond, your handbook to having a blissful parrot. Please consider subscribing if you want to enjoy more bliss with your parrot and less nibbling. This is Timber, my Green-cheek Conure. She is about 3 months old and we are going through the piranha stage. So, how would I compare the piranha of a Green-cheek Conure and the piranha of an Indian Ringneck? They're both pretty bitey when they want to be. So, first let's talk about their sound. When it comes to the squawking of a parrot, I would say that, they can both be pretty loud. We used to walk into our house and say that it was like the Mayan Caribbean because it sounded like a jungle because our Green-cheek Conure was going wah, wah. But Indian Ringnecks do the same. I'm going to say that noise-wise, I feel like my Green-cheek Conures are a little less noisy. They're both just as piranha-ish, or they can be. My Indian Ringneck, she's not a baby anymore. Instead, she's going through a hormonal phase. But I'm going to say they could both be pretty noisy. Once they settle into a home, I feel like they both get less noisy and they're not so bad. Hormonal season may be an exception. So that's the noise factor. Someone had asked me to compare a Green-cheek Conure and an Indian Ringneck, and she had said they're thinking of adding a parrot to their flock. And given that they are about the same price range, and I'm guessing she's in Europe because I'm kind of going, I don't think they're the same price range here, but it does depend on color or the factor. For example, Timber here, my piranha, Green-cheek Conure, she is called a high red yellow-sided factor because she's got what I call an orange tummy. And a piranha beak, they factored that in. I'm kidding, of course, but it feels like it. She's just going through her terrible twos, and it'll last not 2 years, thank goodness. Not 1 year, knock on wood. So they, depending on the color of your Indian Ringneck, like a green Indian Ringneck is going to cost less. It's going to be more economical than a blue or Milo, my Indian Ringneck. She's this beautiful, beautiful cloud, pale blue that, what do they call her? I forget. Not pallid. Pallid? Yes, I think she's called a pallid. Anyway, or like, there's also like an indigo, a purpley Indian Ringneck. When it comes to Green-cheek piranhas, like this little girl, they come in traditional, which is green. They come in the more of the red factor. In Europe, there's an indigo now, and I guess there's a few here in the U.S. Just this beautiful indigo blue. Well, please don't bite me. I'm just trying to get my finger back. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my finger back. I love you, but this bitey phase. They come in turquoise. And then there's these new sun cheeks where like the cheeks are supposed to be lighter. I think it's kind of like a cockatiel, like your cheeks are kind of a different color. Don't eat my wooden hummingbird, please. Oh my. Oh dear, we're getting into exploring and nibbling everything. And of course turquoise, Green-cheek Conures also come in turquoise. So lots of colors. Do you see how she's kind of got like a blush? I think that the sun cheeks sort of have that blush, but maybe in a different color. There are so many different colors. I saw this chart. It's so cute, a chart with like about 12 different green-cheek colors, and I think that's probably accurate. So it's hard for me to keep track. So price-wise, I would say they can be similar in price. Here in the U.S., a Green-cheek Conure is going to be more economical. They may be half the price and maybe 1/3 the price. Again, it depends on the colors. So, talking ability. I would say that when it comes to talking ability, one thing that Green-cheek Conures and Indian Ringnecks are going to have in common is that the males are going to be better talkers than the females, unfortunately. You could even say that with an Indian ringneck like my Milo, if you have a female, I don't know if you're going to have any talking. At least I don't. And I bet you have some, but in other words, unfortunately, the males are more of the talkers. And I think that's for the typical songbird reason that the males need to be able to put on more of a show to attract the female. I'm assuming. I don't really know, but that's my guess. When it comes to talking, though, the green cheeks, because I haven't had a male Indian ringneck, the green cheeks are really funny. Our first green cheek, Abby, I used to come home and I would say, "Hi, Abby." And then one day I came home and I said, "Hi, Abby." And he said, "Hi, Abby." And I was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you say hi, Abby?" And Abby taught the other green cheeks to say, "Hi, Abby." That's my way of trying to discourage the nibbling. I move my hand around. I do things to break her pattern. So when it comes to talking, my guess is that a male Indian ringneck, because they're a little bigger, I actually think that a male is going to talk a little more or a little better than a green-cheek conure, but your green-cheek conure and your Indian ringneck, although they can both pick up some words, they're not the best parrot talkers. The best parrot talkers are going to be your African gray, your Amazons, your cockatoos, but they can do some talking, at least some, and they are going to talk, generally speaking, in that parrot voice. Sort of that high squeaky voice. Next, cleanliness. You know, when it comes to both of these species, I'm going to say that they're pretty much neck and neck. I feel like Indian ringnecks and green-cheek conures are not going to make you a colossal mess the way a African gray would, for example. So I feel like they're not hard to take care of. Are they going to poop everywhere that they go? Yes, of course. That's inherent in their parrotness, because they, generally speaking, poop before they take off for flight, that kind of thing. And birds, in general, keep their body weight down so that they can fly and so that they're not carrying extra weight by pooping often. So you are going to have poops everywhere. Generally speaking, most of them aren't going to be like a big, wet, gross mess. You know, it's not going to be like that. These two birds are good apartment parrots, and I feel like a green-cheek conure, I kind of feel like a green-cheek conure is a better apartment parrot, but as far as like their sound, their talking, their mess goes, I feel like they could both do fine in an apartment. Like if I was in an apartment and I was looking at adding one of these two guys, that's not really what would determine who I would add for me. Same with their food. Their diets are going to pretty much be the same. In both of these species, we're going to do fresh vegetables every day. She's starting to bite, so I'm breaking the pattern. I'm having her have to make a change. They're both going to get fresh vegetables. They're both going to get a pelleted diet. They can both get seeds as a snack. I wouldn't make it a part of their daily diet. In the winter, I might modify their diet the way nature would, because in nature, of course, every season means that they're going to get different things available to them depending on what's growing. And every day, really, in nature, they're going to get different food available to them depending on where they are, because they don't reside in one house, right? In nature, unless they're nesting, they move around. So I would try to vary their fresh vegetables. They need beta carotene. That's the one constant and consistent I would give them every day. But other than that, don't forget, the seeds I would do as a snack. And if you do a few little seeds, like a little bit of parakeet seed, I would not do cockatiel seed. A little parakeet seed in their food might be okay. Like I would just do like a little bit though. I would not do a spoonful. I wouldn't do a teaspoon. I might do like, I don't know, a quarter or an eighth of a teaspoon. But that's like maybe during the winter. The rest I would keep for treats so that I'm the Pez seed dispenser, or I would do for training with those treats. But otherwise I would really limit the seeds, also because that way I'm more fun. I'm filled with seeds. Good experiences. Lifestyle. If your lifestyle is such that you want to be able to spend a lot of time with your vampire, I mean your parrot. Okay, I don't know if I'm funny or not, but it's a little fun for me, and I'm making a point. They are like that, you know. If your lifestyle is such that you really kind of want to bond and you want to spend more time with your parrot, and I'm talking, you want to have your parrot on your shoulder while you're working, or you want to have your parrot more engaged with you, you want to engage with your parrot more, then I would say your lifestyle is going to match more of a Green-cheek Conure. On the other hand, if you're at work a lot, or like you're going to school, you're out, you don't want to be necessarily physically in contact with your parrot as much, then I would say your lifestyle matches a Indian ringneck more so. The Asiatic birds, which Indian ringnecks are Asiatic, they are more independent birds. So if you really don't have a lot of time to dedicate to your pet, they're kind of more like cats. They're a little more independent. They're a little more like, I'll do my thing. Yes, I want to spend time with you, but I'll let you know how much time. I'll let you know when. So that's more of an Indian ringneck. On the other hand, if you want sort of a little more of a dogness, like a dog that's like your loyal companion, that's more like the Green-cheek Conure. I feel like Green-cheek Conures are playful, energetic, enthusiastic, and interested in you, interested in nibbling you, interested in, you know, I mean, I feel like Green-cheek Conures are kind of like puppies. You know how puppies like bite everything? They mouth everything. They're exploring everything. They want to be in everything. I feel like that encompasses or describes a Green-cheek Conure a little better. Indian ringnecks, they might also explore everything, like my wooden blinds, which aren't quite so blind anymore. You're not biting my shirt, are you? Don't explore my shirt, okay? Don't put a hole in my sweater. So Indian ringnecks, they might explore things, and they might explore you, but it's just not the same. They really are more like a cat. They might get into trouble in your house. They do need to all be supervised, but they're just not necessarily going to want to be on you and bite you. They're just going to want to bite you. It's like they're going to bite you without being on you. That's sort of a fair, I feel like, at least from my experience, that's a fair way of comparing the two. Green-cheek's going to be on you and bite you. See what I mean? The Indian ringneck's going to be off you and want to bite you. Indian ringnecks, actually, you know what? Let's talk about aggression, because both of these species can be pretty rough and tough kind of thing. Indian ringnecks. My Indian ringneck is hormonal right now, and she is chasing away the Amazons. The Amazons are like 3 times her size, her girth, probably 4 or 5 times her girth, and her weight. And she's like, this is now my room. She's in the bird room, and she's like, y'all can go away, or I'm going to chase you away. And I'm just sitting there going, really? I mean, the Amazons, they're not skitty little things. But she's just like, this is my space. Don't cross it. So I'm kind of amazed. The Green-cheeks, they can be like that too, but I don't know if they're quite like drawing a line in the sand, or their line might be closer. So I think that's something else to keep in mind, because I do feel like Indian ringnecks, I don't feel like they go in a home with a lot of other parrots. I feel like if you're planning on having a small flock and you don't, like I said, want to necessarily engage with them as much, the Indian ringnecks might be better for you. If you want a bigger flock and you do want parrots that are a little more friendly, are going to get along with other birds a little better, then I think you are going to be more interested in the Green-cheek. Now, size-wise, they're pretty comparable. Yes, the Indian ringneck's tail is longer, and that is going to mean that you need a bigger cage. For both of them, you can look it up online and easily find the bar spacing, how much bar spacing you can have for your parrot's cage. But please do watch that, because the diameter of their head is going to determine how wide the bars on the cage should be. Because if Timber here can put her head through the bars and just barely, she can also like put her head sideways and get stuck. So even though they both have long tails, which means they both belong to the parakeet name, because here in the U.S., I don't know if this is true everywhere in the world, but here in the U.S., parakeet means long tail. Up to a certain size, it stops somewhere, because macaws are not parakeets even though they have a long tail. So even though they're both parakeets and they both have long tails, Indian ringnecks are longer, and they are going to require ouch, a bigger cage, but you do want to watch that bar spacing. So, which would I pick? It depends on what I want, who I want to be bitten by. Do I want to be bitten by someone on me or someone off of me? No, but seriously, you know what? I'm not sure you could go wrong with either. As long as with the Indian ringneck, you want to make sure that they kind of have that space. You want to make sure to know that they're matriarchal, which means that your female Indian ringnecks are going to be more of the big mama bear kind of thing than the males. And you just want to be careful because those mama bears, they can be really protective. And I feel like that's more so true. You know, I don't know. I mean, my Indian ringneck's really going through the hormones right now. So I think she's at some of the peak of her hormonal stage. But you have to keep that in mind. And so you don't want a lot of other pets or maybe children because, your kids might get bitten by this hormonal angry bird. So keep those things in mind. I think a Green-cheek Conure in that sense is easier. So if you have more of a home with space as far as people and physical space goes, and you aren't going to spend a lot of time in the Indian ringneck, I think might be my choice if that was my circumstances. Or if I wanted a bigger flock and I wanted more connection with that beak, then I might go for that Green-cheek Conure. Thank you for joining us in this blissful, fluffy video. If you have any questions about parrots, please be sure to comment below and we'll catch you next time.